one decision changed the game.
Yeah. I don't think anyone who watches this regularly won't think that I'm being bitter when I say what I'm about to say, because I'll know that in the 5 years that we've been here, I always say we have to make decisions once. Some will go for you, some will go against you, etc. But that was an unacceptable display of refereeing this afternoon. I was just laughing with their manager on the way off, and as the decision was made to red card Kenny, and he was laughing and saying it's never a red card. He's Tom's round as the last man, and they're going to shout for it. Of course they are, because they want the decision at the end of the day, but it's categorically not a red card. And we were 2-1 up at the time, and we're obviously cruising. And well, cruising probably sounds wrong actually. We're probably comfortable. Yeah. Probably is better. They weren't creating a huge amount against us, and obviously they've scored from a penalty. The rest of the time we didn't look like we were going to get broken down, and then after that, losing Kenny, who I think's been excellent for us for the last probably 10 games or so. He's been really good this season. I feel very sorry for him. I feel very sorry for the players, and it's a real shame. But having said that, if I'm taking any positives from the afternoon, which I think we've got to, for 60-65 minutes until the sending off, I thought we were excellent. Minus a poor start from kind of the first 5 minutes. Obviously, you can see in the penalty, which I do think was a penalty. But yeah, the rest of it, for the rest of that half, that we were good, created some good chances, didn't we, and played some good stuff. And then unfortunately, it's been ruined by that decision this afternoon.
And it really hurts, because I mean they sent in blood as soon as Kenny was gone.
Yeah.
You know, they really pushed forward.
Yeah.
And he was trying to stop the tide, and it was nigh impossible once they actually smelt they got the opportunity.
Yeah. And
they just threw everything at us, and yeah, even the luck went against it when Kyle makes that super save to push it onto the post, and obviously Bott's there to turn it in. But it does leave a sour taste, you know, when we've gone toe to toe with one of the sides, they're at the top end of the table. Yeah. And up until that point, we were well deserving the 3 points.
Yeah, let's make no mistake about it. They're a good side, and particularly going forward, I would say they've got some very good lads. Obviously, Key Brown, Aaron Bott, the lad who plays the other side, I think it's
Lewis Hulton.
Yeah, good player. Got some good midfield players as well. And they're a wily bunch who know their craft, and they know they manage the game very well, and all the kind of dark arts and things like that. And they're a good side, and when they've got the opportunity to go against us and we're a man down, and actually we weren't causing them too many problems, or we weren't able to cause many problems, they looked good going forwards, and actually they moved us around very well with that extra man, and credit to them for doing that, because obviously they're in that position, and obviously they've managed to go and kick on, but it's a position that we shouldn't have been in, and yeah, I'm very disappointed with that. And I feel sorry for the boys today.
And you mentioned dark arts. We seem to come across a number of sides who they like the dark arts, and I know it's not the Brocton way. It doesn't sit comfortable, does it, when you know people manage the referee, and the referee allows herself to be managed by the bench, by players screaming, shouting for everything.
Yeah, look, we're probably too nice at times. I wouldn't mind if we had a little bit more. And it's just examples like the fall with the nudges in the back. He's clever, because he's bought the decision, and ultimately fair play to him, because the referee was giving it.
Well, we nearly got red sent off.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see that happening.
Yeah, I just think, just to sum it up overall, I rarely ever discuss the officials. If you mention them to me, I usually just say we're going to get some against us. We're going to get some.
We try not to, don't we?
Of course, but today I can't avoid it. I mean, just to sum it up, I haven't spoken to a referee at half time for the whole kind of probably 18 months now, because I stopped doing it, and I asked Triggs to do it. I spoke to her today at half time, and we were winning. That was how I felt about the first half. I didn't enjoy the first half, even despite the fact that we were winning, because of the way that the game was going and all the fouls. It was like a basketball game, is what I actually said at one point. And that's because any contact was given as a foul, and that's not a game that people who want to pay to come and watch want to see, and they don't want to see people like touch them, go to the floor, and free kicks be given. People want to see good, competitive, two Midland Premier League sides going toe to toe and trying to have a good game and things, and actually you've got two good sides there who could have gone toe to toe today, and we did, but it was marred is probably the best way to describe it.
League Cup time Tuesday. Lee, these competitions are always quite strange, aren't they, in terms of what do we do, how do we go, how do we go? What are your thoughts? Going to try and get some minutes into legs of the lads who haven't been started?
Yeah, definitely. Get some minutes into some of the other lads, like some more who needs minutes. Dylan, Cam, others who Adam, who's coming back, players like that who haven't had the minutes. I'll certainly get some minutes into those. But ultimately, we're a side in whatever competition we're in, we want to compete in it. It's certainly not a it doesn't matter tonight, whatever happens. We'll give the minutes, but we'll also make sure that we're strong. And I'm sure that the sour taste that's left in the mouth today will spur a lot of the lads on. And I said to them, look, it's a disappointing afternoon for us today, but the only thing we can do is use it as fuel moving forwards, and use it as a bit of, well, we were hard done by there, let's go again, and we move forwards from there.
Excellent. See you Tuesday, man.
Cheers, guys.